Okay, guys. So do you guys, I'm sure you know the famous song that says, "I have decided to follow Jesus, no turning back, no turning back." Right. So, today I'm just gonna tell you guys a story of like how that song came about. Right. So, basically, there was a missionary who went to India to preach the gospel. And he went to a village where, like, no, the gospel has never been preached before. Like, people didn't know about Jesus, right? So he went there. He went there with his family, two kids and his wife, right? Then, as he was preaching the gospel, yeah, it was back then. Back then, no, there were chiefs and stuff. So back then, the king or the chief of the village heard, that these people are preaching up the gospel, right? And he called, and like already, like it was working. Like, I think the first family got saved, and once the first family got saved, like once the first family that believed in Jesus Christ, they spread the gospel even more because the people were familiar with that family than these strangers, right? So it became known that people who are preaching the gospel and people are believing in Christ. And the king or the chief who didn't believe in Christ called the family. He called the family and he brought them to him. And he said to them, you know, renounce. He said to the men, to the missionary, renounce Jesus, or I will kill your kids. So they were all there. They brought it, like him, his wife, and two kids. And they said to the men, renounce Jesus now, or we'll kill your kids. You guys say, and the arrows were already, like, the chief commanded, like, his servants to get ready the arrows, right? So the men said, "Oh, I have decided to follow Jesus." You guys say, "No turning back, no turning back." Those are the first lyrics. No, what the men said. Then the chief gave the command, and they shot his two kids. Is what I'm saying. And the man looked at his, like, kids, right? And the chief commanded his servants to aim arrows again at his wife, right? And the chief said, "No. Now renounce Jesus. Renounce Jesus, or I will kill your wife." Right? So imagine your wife. Then the man said, "Though no one joins me, still I will follow." Yes, though no one joins me, still I will follow. Then the king gave the command, and they shot his wife dead. You get what I'm saying? Those are the lyrics, how they came about. And the man looked down and he saw his dead wife and two kids. Like, like there's no turning back. At this point, there's no turning back, right? And the king said again, renounce Jesus, or I will kill you. And the chief gave the command. They aimed the arrow. Said to the missionary, renounce Jesus, or I will kill you, right? And the man said, the cross before me, the world behind me, no turning back. And they shot. The chief gave the command, and they shot the man, and the man was dead. That's the story behind the song, I have decided to follow you. And it doesn't end there. You know what I'm saying? And according to reports that, no, once the king shot them, and he started to question their faith. Like, what faith is this that a man is willing to die for? You know what I'm saying? So because of how they died, like, when the whole village, everyone, like, believed in God, because the news spread and people wanted to know more about the faith that this man died for. Even the king himself, according to the reports, they said, no. Even the king ended up, at some point, he ended up believing in God. He ended up repenting. He ended up giving his life to Christ because he was just wondering, like, no, the faith that this man died for, what is it about? You get what I'm saying? The whole village, you know what I'm saying, end up being saved. You get what I'm saying? And I think, like, when I was starting to understand this story, I remember, like, in the book of Acts, where, like, no, Acts 8, where, like, no, the apostles, remember, like, they were all together in one accord in the temple and all those things. But it was in Acts 8 where, like, no, once they started crucifying Christians, everyone ran. Like, one went this way, one went to this country, one went to this country. And that's how the gospel was spread. Through the crucifying of the gospel, through the crucifying of Christians. The guys had to split up, and the gospel spread just like that. It was not they were not intended. I don't know if they were intending to split up, but no. Once they heard that, no, Christians are being killed, this one went this way. Wherever they were, they preached the gospel. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying, no, sometimes, like, the sacrifices we make speak louder than the sermons we preach. You get what I'm saying? The sacrifices we make for God, they speak louder than the sermons we preach or the messages we preach on a Sunday or on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? But yes, that was the story, guys. Peace.